Alright, here we are with Spanish Crossbows versus Endlose Traurigkeit from the 5th division, I believe, of the 3v3 League. It's Bedouins, as it shows down here. Return of the Clans, Bedouins. And yeah, it's similar-ish to African Clearing. And that has been in the ranked pool a couple of times of Definitive Edition, but it's a classic map, so it's or a bit older map, older script, and many players would claim that Bedouins is better. Lots of more shorefish, so that plays a bigger role in these matches, and the oases also have more trees around them, which honestly seems a decent detail. Good morning, Belgium. So it's easier for wanting to pull off team walling, and by as far as I know, the players spawn somewhat in team positioning as well, even if it's a nomad start. So they'll have their starting positions somewhat predictable. If you look at the scouting here, right, all villagers spawn close, which is very convenient for a nomad start, so that you could get your TC up without having to walk your villager across literally half of the map. I think for clarity of vision here, let's do 2-4-6 for Endlose, and then we can give we can do, for example, yeah, let's make Smorty green and Elias wording teal for distinguishing of the team colors. So yeah, lots of shorefish, especially benefiting the Indians, which we see from Magge here in the purple. So I'm assuming Endlose went for the first pick in the draft here. It would be one civ you'd want to secure for this map, because Indians collect shorefish 10% faster. It's already a fast food source. But if we compare the collection rate here, if I'm able to select. How are we gonna do this? Doesn't this work anymore? Maybe it only works for enemy units. Anyway, Indians collect shorefish faster, even faster than generic fishermen do. You'll see the players placing their starting town centers on these shorefish because it really boosts your start food-wise to have the shorefish collected right onto the TC, and then you'll add mills and eventually a lumber camp on either the edge of the map or these small oases for shorter walking distance as well. My group is filled with Arabia pickers, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been the go-to map for 22 years, so unfortunately some people just are bound to that map. Ooh, nice mill placement here for Smorty, who actually placed the TC on the woodland, but also the berries. Berries aren't on African Clearing, by the way. So, that's also one for where Bedouins is different. Elias wording as well with the TC on the trees rather than the fish, so place it more classic nomad style here by the looks of it. Aside from that, all the others are... Ooh, this is close to 2 ponds actually. So Indians, let's have a look for Indians. Magge here, 3 seconds idle TC time. Generally speaking, fairly low idle TC time. Except for mediocrity with the Chinese starting without food. Probably attacked Loom immediately. And now going for the boar as well, but 35 seconds idle TC with Chinese, it's still going to give you that lead in terms of villagers. So, 17 villagers, as you can see. Not a bad pick for nomad starts, except Chinese don't start with 6 villagers immediately anymore. You need to complete the TC first. Didn't know that you don't start at a random position in this map. I wasted so much time searching for an opponent. Ah, yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, run it once in skirmish or even scenario editor, and you get the idea. Eltron Trasi, so so that's on you. But I can see the confusion. I mean, African clearing is more random in the spawns. So the confusion is warranted. I'll give you that. Skipping ahead here though, aren't we, Eltron Trazi, who is also playing this game. This is a recorded game, that's why the players can chat while I cast it. They can spoil if they want to as well. Please don't, but of course spoil things I should be watching. I've been told this is a messy game. So it's Morty walling off here. Actually, we didn't get around. We've been talking so much about the map. I haven't really talked about the civs, but Indians, Spanish, Britons. So scouts into camels, maybe conquistadors, and then Jolly Jumper. I'm guessing Britain's archers into arbalists, maybe even longbowmen. While mediocrity by the Chinese has a variety of options: cheap tech switches, access to most of the units, really heavy cavalier, arbalest, etc. Smorty with the Sicilians, unique infantry unit, which you can mass ridiculously quickly with the First Crusade if you have 5 TCs up. Sicilians construct castles and town centers 100% faster as well. While finally allies working with the Vietnamese here. Of course could go for the Rattan Archer as the unique unit. That's a fast and strong foot archer that also produces quickly. And it could also be with the starting TCs in mind, but they're likely going to be like... It's almost like team positioning on the Bedouins, so you'll know that your team spawns in one end and the opponents in the other. The feudal ages are in. Oh, militia. What? And I scout out for mediocrity, playing the Chinese scouts here, even the early blacksmith, so could be the means of either an earlier castle age or an early attack and defense upgrades for the scouts, which will benefit the raids quite a bit. Sort of a team wall forming here for Morty and Elias Worthing in the meantime, while mediocrity could extend that eventually, but will probably be playing a little bit of a 1 versus 1 or holding it alone to the left-hand side here. Morty also walling off with the Sicilians. Yeah, as we said, the team wall beginning here. Uh-oh, scouts targeting a spear in the midst of TC fire. A bit unfortunate scouts micro from mediocrity here, as Magge also flares the location of the blue TC here, the Indians player. As expected, going for the scouts here. And looking for enemy locations found. Blue, maybe they're starting to sense the idea that there's team positioning here, so that the other TCs could be in this area. Spearman defense working out very well for Jolly Jumper here with the Britons, but that last bit of the wall, not complete. Looks like it's sort of a team wall starting to form between Jolly Jumper and Magge as well. But it's not quite complete yet. People see scouts can accomplish. They find the gorefish over here. The villagers obviously have loom, especially since it's Chinese. You would expect that to be in. Could be able to kill though if Magge commits here, but the spearman is staying dangerously close, and mediocrity micros away the weak one here while the spearman is chasing. Spearmen are chasing. There's only one. The spearman is chasing the scout. He's hiding inside the mill. Sorry. Gotcha. Found you. Even if scouts are going down on both sides here, there's idle eco accomplished here for both mediocrity and Magge. Now looking at the transition here, we have Castle Age for the Sicilians, so it's more with the Castle Age coming in here. Spanish, a horse head ahead here with the Spanish castle drop, and one that green absolutely sees because it's right on the walls. So this is going to allow for Conquistadors production for El Trontrazi. They're also flaring the beginnings of a team wall in the middle, which will eventually secure trade in the corners. And here comes a mining camp next to the newly acquired castle, so that more castles can be dropped later on with the faster Spanish builders. Four TCs already from Smorty, either going for the boom of a lifetime or just an early first crusade here, I wouldn't know. But it certainly is a good means to seek refuge against conquistador raids as well, so they're not at all useless, these TCs. Conquistadors find their way in and will be finding the woodland as well. One villager may be going down, but as we know, the base accuracy of the Conquistador isn't amazing. It's at 65, as we can show here. But consistent production of Conquistadors here, and these guys have the mobility to run across the map and do whatever they like to obstruct the opponent's progression as well. Second TC coming up for El Trontrazi as well, so some more eco extension here, going to further boost that Conquistador's production. These villagers are taking the long way around though. Are they actually going to go all the way up here to it's going to break the wall, surely. Surely. Maybe not. Well, TC is popping up left and right here, and Endlose are extending their economy into a nice and consistent boom. That could be said of Spanish Crossbows as well, with the 4 TCs of Smorty. Here comes the castle for the Vietnamese. So the Rat Notches, it is indeed, and this castle also protects some shorefish wood and a gold over here. Walling in towards the edge here means that a nice and broad woodland has been secured here for Elias Worthing. Oh, great worker efficiency here for the Spanish villagers. Classic villager cluster. Conquistadors keeps scouting the map. Are there any scouts left? No, all the purple scouts are down. So we have some knights from mediocrity now, could easily transition to camels if need be. This blue player with the Chinese, they do have access to heavy camel. And they have a wide open tech tree, so they get full upgrades for heavy camel. And cavalier for that matter. Seems like a solid eco deal for Spanish Crossbows, could be attributed mainly to the Sicilians, now housed at 60 pop and has to react to the Conquistadors play here. We're going to mine some more stone for eventual castles. Would want some castles up here to keep the aggression out, maybe here or here to secure at least the middle section between the players. Right hand side is of course obstructed a bit by the castle, the Spanish castle over here. To the left hand side we have mediocrity trying to break through the knights now, as the Britain's player has massed up a decent chunk of archers. Here is also in the castle age, but no bodkin just yet. Crossbow just kicked in, and because of the Britain's range bonus in the castle age, they now have the equivalent of the bodkin range, but you definitely want bodkin as well for an additional range and more damage output. Rat Archers chasing the Hunks. I haven't really seen that matchup before. I'm not sure who will play it better, but I'd say the Rattans should have better range. Or where's the range again? 4 plus 2, 6. But okay, I guess not. I guess it's the same range, which should benefit the Conquistadors, especially when you get bloodlines for them as well. Then they're going to get 75 hit points total. Market wall here, keeping the Conquistadors out for now. And I mean, the Rattans are doing decent. They don't have any significant bonus damage against the cavalry or cavalry archer class armor, but still doing alright. Here come the Indians' camels to meddle in though, and they get the full encircling on the Rattan archers and clean up the mess here. Here comes a second castle as well, so doubling up on the Rattan archers, but the base very much compact here for Allies Worthing. If Endlose break through here, that's going to be very bad news for the teal player, even with the 2 castles to some extent protecting the economy. You risk having a lot of eco run idle. There's a castle for the Sicilians. Do we also have 5 TCs? Only, or not only, but we have 4 TCs for now. Only 4 villagers lost total for Spanish Crossbows, so they keep a tiny eco lead still. They seem to have... No, actually not. Wheelbarrow is in for 2 of Endlose's players, so that means that they've established a villager lead here through more consistent villager production. Ooh, looks like mediocrity might break through here. Going to obstruct that eco extension of Endlose Traurigkeit here. 4 TCs for the Indians. It's easier for the Indians to get a consistent boom going. Ooh, second attack upgrade coming in from mediocrity at just the right time here. Getting a semi-surround on the crossbows, but the Indians' camels are here to meddle in as well. This is a 2 versus 1, which is not playing into mediocrity's favors. But does get to clean up a lot of Britain's archers there. Shouldn't be a big deal for the Britons because they have 20% faster working ranges. Ooh, Imperial Age now, coming in for Eltron Trazi, which means that this Sicilian's castle is in danger of being trebucheted down. Only 6 conquistadors out though, did lose 1 group to the Rattan Archers of Elias Worthing. And army situation in general, army, eco, quite evenly matched here between the 2 teams. Oh, mediocrity has mixed in some camels as well. Good call, full upgrades as opposed to the Indians missing that last +1. Let's have a look at the upgrades here. His husbandry kicking in for the Indians as well, so they'll be matched in speed. The camels of the Chinese and the Indians here. Britain's back on track with crossbow mass, now almost 40 in the numbers again, and mediocrity is fighting this alone for now. Would probably appreciate some Rattan archers joining in for the efforts, and that's exactly where Elias Worthing is going. He's going to work together with mediocrity by the looks of it. As they yet again try to break through here to get some raids down on Endlose Traurigkeit's side. There are definitely weaker spots to enter through, but does not succeed this time around either. Defensive castle outside the walls for Jolly Jumper as well, making it awkward to path through here, especially for foot archers with this palisade gate, which would be a weak point otherwise. Rattan archers joining in, should clean up the Indians' camels here, no problem, but now we have 6 stables production of camels from the Indians. Imperial Age for the Sicilians, which means Elite Sergeant with the First Crusade could be on the menu. That could be very deadly, especially if you're already at Popcap and fieldings of normal armors. Halberd Cavalier comes to mind as well. A good substitute to actually not having Paladin here at all for Spanish Crossbows. No Paladin Sibs. Spanish have Paladin, Indians have Imperial Camel, and Britons have Arbalest, so the very late game combination could be said to be favoring Endlose Traurigkeit for this one. Not a full functional team wall by any means for Spanish Crossbows here, but they are also could be said to be the aggressors. Here's the Imperial Age all the way for mediocrity as well. There's only one player in Imperial Age for Endless Traurigkeit. However, Jolly Jumper could click up at any time with the resources currently at their disposal. Not queuing villagers anymore, we won't really need to, but there's the Imperial Age click. 3 minutes to go for the Britons for Imperial Age. And now Eltrotrazi in the Imperial Age didn't have too much success with Conquistadors. In fact, only 2 villager skills. Magge did get more with the scouts and camels here, so making the switch into Paladin, which I think is a good one. You don't need to fear the heavy camels on the Chinese nearly as much, because his teammate the Indians get Imperial Camel, which is an even better one. So Paladin switch for raiding and taking out rat notchers from the Spanish. A good call here, good switch. Quick look at the trade stats. No trade commenced for either player. That's some purple dots, but these are only sheep. Who cares about sheep at this stage in the game? Huge chunk of crossbows here to join in with teammates here and Imperial Age. Still 1 minute away. One stray militia just chilling out here as well. I guess that was made for the purposes of scouting. So I've actually seen that on Nomad maps, using militia to scout the map. Since you don't start with the scout on Nomad maps, you could make a barracks in the Dark Age. Even though it's wood intensive, it could pay off as you get to scout the map. Now Rattans and Knights working together. Cavalier plate parting armor coming in here for mediocrity. And no easy rewalling behind this for the Britons, because there are rat notchers to meddle in here. They are also on the way to the Imperial Age, so eventually they will be becoming elite as well. Could it be that mediocrity wants to go for Siege Ram here? That's always a good call against the Britons, to go for the Siege Rams, because they are that will force the Britons Arbalest to fire at the Siege Rams, or having to target fire your units. So big old fight here. This is where the action is going on, but our Sicilians player is also raiding about, and Hauberg is in for the Cavaliers, so they have extra armor. But let's see how this fight is doing. That's not a too pretty of a fight for Spanish Crossbows here. Imperial Age kicking in for the Indians as well. 10 stables now producing the camels. And last bit of Rattans trading here. Not elite, of course, because Imperial Age isn't in yet. Last player to reach the Imperial Age will be the Vietnamese here. And a third castle going up for the unique unit. Trebsworth to the right here, and actually Zmorty is in a better spot in the fighting here. They're both scrambling for repairs, but I think the Sicilians repair castles more quickly as well. Spanish have faster builders though, so they should be repairing at a quick pace as well, but seems to be have run out of stone here. Eltrotrazi, who is also losing lots of builders to raids here from the Hauberg Cavalier, and has to focus a lot of attention at home to keep this aggression away. One siege workshop down here to the left hand side. Barracks now going up for the Britons, gonna make a switch into, or an addition of halberdiers here, I should say, maybe not a full switch. Yeoman is in for the arms, so these have 5+6 range now. We also have a couple of castles for the Britons, so you could even make longbowmen here if you are feeling that kind of vibe. Looks like the Cavaliers of Morty have been cleaned up for this time around, but yeah, more are entering in here as long as the walls aren't complete. I bet Endlose Traurigkeit wishes they had Stonewall now, because now they're subject to heavy raids from the right-hand side. Not that it's such a big deal to lose villagers right now. The eco is still allowing for units replenishment, but look at these raids. 64 villagers and counting here. And Halberd Cavalier against Paladin, no joke. The HP is a difference, yes, but the armor is comparable, and a little bit less attack, obviously, being Cavalier. Here comes the castle. You just don't deny Sicilians' castles. Villagers build them so quickly. Soon to become Imperial Camel. Actually, it just kicked in here. That should be bad news for the Halberd Cavalier, but production is very much consistent. Look at that. It's 11 stables now pumping out those Cavalier for Smorty. At its map, there definitely not any defined winner here. If you look at the stats, it's a better overall eco for Spanish Crossbows at this point. Elite Chukonu coming in for mediocrity, as well as Heavy Camel. These guys have eco to do anything they want at this point. It's Cavalier versus Cavalier, but that should... No, wait, it's Cavalier and Cavalier here, sorry. I forgot I'd switch the colors. So mediocrity playing the mobility over at this side, and probably considering the Cavaliers expendable at this point, as capped rams are in mass production here. Siege engineers coming in for some Morty as well to benefit the trebuchets and other siege weapons for the Sicilians. And they are gaining ground here, so massive raids going on, and it's El Trontrasi taking the largest hit here. A little bit of trade going on here, but barely even started. Actually, in fact, where are these guys trading to? So the trade units have started, but the markets weren't ready, so the trade is also off here for Endlose Traurigkeit, meaning that their gold income won't be kicking in just yet. Here they are, but they're being chased by Cavaliers now, so might not be bringing in gold after all. Spanish Paladins here trading against the Halberd Cavalier, but the Greens Cavaliers are in the mass numbers here. Elite Battle Elephant now for the Vietnamese. Not going to play the Rat Notches anymore, going to flex with the Elite Battle Elephants, which are also a strong but not as often seen option for the Vietnamese. We did see paper money take in earlier as well, which gives 500 gold to each player on the team. Elite Rat Notcher, tanky beasts. These guys, they have 6+4 pierce armor. It's absolutely ridiculous. They could sit underneath castles if you have the large enough mass, and I've seen them take out castles, but then we're talking masses on 60 or more, of course. But still. I guess it is Spanish Crossbows pushing here. They don't have raid, so could that actually backfire in terms of gold? They still have gold income. Going, so that's not an immediate concern, but I don't see a lot of gold spots here. His mediocrity extending to 1, that's 6 tiles over here. That's going to last for a while longer. Stone walls completing up north here for the for Jolly Jumpers. That should limit raids from that area, but siege rams in mass now. 14 siege rams out for mediocrity over here, accompanied by elite battle elephants as well. Imperial Camels joining in here to deal with the siege trams, and they seem to be dealing decently swiftly with them. They don't have any bonus damage against siege, but they are a fast attacking melee unit. Some raids in the trade here as well. Imperial Camels over here, so Spanish Crossbows not having the T-balls might backfire a bit. But look at all these castles. How many castles do we have here? 14 castles for Spanish Crossbows. And it's more the MVP in the raiding game here, fielding more and more cavaliers, also taking siege ram here with the Sicilians. Siege engineers affect siege rams as well, so they deal a bit of extra damage. They're pushing from both sides, you know. Spanish Crossbows population still arguably healthy for Endlose Traurigkeit, but they are falling behind the army numbers now. They're feeling the impact of the raids, maybe especially the orange player to the right hand side here with the constant raids from the Halberd Cavalier that needs to be dealt with, and you need to commit the paladins to that. It doesn't really make sense to go into Halberdier against Sicilians Halberd Cavalier, because they will take 50% less bonus damage anyway, so they will ironically trade pretty decently against their supposed counter unit. Siege trams breaking through the walls up north as well. Not much the Britons can do about that if they are feeling mainly arms here. Some halberdiers in the queue as well, but not nearly enough to deal with the siege pressure here. Elephants and siege trams are tanking lots of arbalest fire over here. Trade, how's the trade situation? 17, 19. Maybe they are getting some gold income from the trade after all, but base has been breached and both ends here, and that's the first game going into Spanish Crossbows' hands, ending at close to the 1 hour mark. GG, well played, and I commend the non-walling team for the victory, of course. Kept the aggression up. Good plan there, and did manage to deal with the Indians as well, which is not necessarily easy on this map. Swarthy with the kills, most of those. How many villagers in the end? 163 villagers killed by the green player and only 28 lost. Amazing raids from the green player, and also that early 4TC boom, establishing a solid economy as well. Generally speaking, good economies for all of the players here. Eltrontrasi only lower because of the constant raids, I think. Yeah, all past 130, 140 villagers. The bird stream, yes. An excuse to get up in the morning. Sometimes useful. Besides, I have other plans tonight, so day stream felt like a good idea. We are moving on to Arabia, where they've been drafting. The draft is per map, so they pick civilizations according to map. Score stats. Let's guess this is decent, but let's give Magge the purple for distinguishing the colors again, and Elias wording the green. Fix my sleep cycle myself. Can't say that I have, but maybe it helps getting up early now. Who knows? Alright, game 2 on Arabia. Battle of Africa 2 Arabia, that is. It is simply more balanced towards team gameplay for Arabia. The berries will seldom, if ever, spawn on a hill, so that's more fair for the players. On the current definitive edition Arabia, the berries will tend to spawn on the hill, or in general you will have lots of hills around your base, making both TC placements and small walling awkward. But as you can see now, no player has berries on the hill, and the hills around the base in general are fewer than on the current DE script, making walling and protecting your resources easier. Let's have a look at the sim picks here. So it looks like Endlose Traurigkeit managed to snag all of the classic tryhard picks here. Britons, 20% faster working archery ranges as a team bonus, which will also benefit the Mayans. Cheaper archers, 10, 20, 30% cheaper archers throughout the game for the Mayans. And finally Magge in the pocket as the pranks, which get eco upgrades instantly, not eco, but farm upgrades instantly, giving them a nice economy throughout the whole game, and castles at a 25% discount, and cavalry also getting plus 20% hit points increase. Setting them back a bit to Bloodlines scouts in the late feudal age, but aside from that, their paladins in the very late game are the strongest in terms of hit points overall. Let's just keep a little eye on the scouting here. Laming is allowed in this tournament, so Jolly Jumper could go for a lame here if it finds an elephant or a rhino to pick, but looks like... oh, actually, it's quite exposed over here. Green hasn't taken it yet. Laming elephants is always risky, though, because they attack faster. So you take more damage when trying to steal them. Now for Spanish Crossbows here, they are a bit more unconventional for the Arabia meta. I'm picking some other civs in drafts, maybe just for fun. Maybe they're feeling competent against the opponents, I don't know. Maybe they did their homework and saw some kind of skill gap here, or maybe there isn't one at all. They just happen to like playing these civs. But it's Persians blank for Spanish Crossbows, which immediately gives me the idea that Mediocrity might be thinking about the Persian douche here, as it's called, to move over to the other flank and delete your starting TC and rebuild it in the face of the enemy. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. But as we track these villagers, Cubans pocket for Smorty, so since Mediocrity is going for DTC douche, that's going to keep Mayans busy, and in the meantime Smorty could go for the feudal age second TC nice and early with the Cubans to set up an economy, and finally Koreans from Elias Worthing may be going to fight a 1v1 with, against the Britons over here. Eltron Trasi has no idea what's about to happen here. They've found the TC location. It's begun some walling, so maybe he has an idea after all. Maybe he spotted the villagers moving, but is he gonna spot it? Is he gonna keep it out in time? 12 villagers moving forward for Mediocrity. Once that TC town center gets deleted at home, you'll see the score of Mediocrity drop here, and that's a clear indication that that's what's going to happen, and here we go! Oh, Eltron Trasi with the Panic House Foundations here to try and stop that town center from happening, but that just doesn't easily happen now, forcing literally all of the economy to work to fight here. Mediocrity's quick walls are on point, going to keep the villagers from fighting here. They tried to attack the foundation so that the town center wouldn't complete, but ooh. Is this intentional or a panic reaction, I wonder? I guess it was intentional to try and weaken the TC and be able to take a TC fight here. So many villagers with food here from the Mayans. And the douche is in effect. To the right hand side, the Briton is drushing. Jolly Jumper is hitting Elias Worthing's home base, who has small walled, but not successful if you keep the Britain's aggression out. But no, we need to follow the douche action over here. This is where the fun is at. Good old mess to start the game. If you look at the town center, see Persians have twice the hit points on town centers and docks. Not that it matters for this map, but so there's literally no point trying to fight the Persian town centers. With their extra hit points, they will always win no matter what. Or should always win. In the meantime, mediocrity is small walling in the Paris here, playing this almost Socotra style. Feudal Age is in for Magge, so Magge could make some scouts here to help stop the next town center drop, if any, from mediocrity, who probably will be re-dropping the TC in the farm economy and the food over here or something, just to keep Eltron-Trazi from collecting further resources. I'd say this strategy has been successful so far. That's some wood being put into repairs there, for Akkal-AOE has lost 4 villagers so far as well. Completely out of wood, it keeps repairing. Not sure. Oh yeah, it repairs to get to the feudal age. Oh no, that TC is gonna go down before feudal age because it's so costly to repair. And he has to bail on the feudal age upgrade unless he is able to collect enough wood to keep going here. Will he make it? Will he make it? Mediocrity should actually just task the villagers, extra villagers in here to hit the DC as well, I think, or hit the repairers. And it goes down at... Oh, how many percent was that? Sorry. Goes down at 70, 80... Oh, it's so close as well. 80% for Eltron-Trazi here. Drush aggression has been dealt with. Jolly Jumper getting 2 villager kills. So definitely a Drush that gets value for the Britons against Elias Worthy with the Koreans. Now what from Eltron-Trazi? He's just fleeing home base. He wants to relocate the DC in within the safety of Magge's walls instead, maybe. I don't know. But he's fleeing here. Too bad. I was going to say too bad their pocket isn't going for the scouts, but that's not true. We have Smorty going for the scouts as well, who should definitely be over here chasing mediocrity's villagers. What a mess of a game. This reminds me of the good old Incas villagers towers situation. The irony here is that even though mediocrity is still in the feudal age, dark age, and stuck here for a long while, look at the resource bar. Any villager killed, any villager he trades here is value, because Eltron-Trazi won't be able to replenish them, not having a TC. No idle TC though. Funnily enough, because it doesn't have one. Could steal the farms here as well if mediocrity feels like it. Maybe not worth it for three farms though. What's going on down here? Koreans playing the towers, so now we have a mess of a game down here. It's not playing the archers as Koreans sometimes do on flanking team games, but the archers. However, Jolly Jumper has the archers out, being the Britons here, so that is delaying that power's aggression. Morty here with some scouts to help out. No upgrades on the scouts though, so the Britain's archers with fletching should be able to deal with the Peel scouts here. New TC coming up here for Eltron-Trazi, and that is a good one, I'd say, because I guess mediocrity might be able to drop a foundation, but that's also so close to the orange one that it's not going to pay off. Elias Worthing losing 8 villagers forward here now. Zwardy with 40 villagers, massive eco lead here, as Eltron-Trazi with Alliance is going feudal age now. Trying again, this time will very likely succeed. However, mediocrity finds another spot to drop the Persian TC. Are we going to see a repeat of the feudal TC going down again here? I don't think so. Here comes Smorty to the rescue with the Cuban scouts, leaving Elias Worthing to fight on his own here, but he's going full lame mode here to wall in the gold, secondary golds, and just be plain annoying. Playing Socotra style almost here. So the Eco has to relocate yet again for Eltron-Trazi. However, this time around I think the DC stays up until feudal age can kick in, which at the very least gives Eltron-Trazi the option to go for, let's say, some archers to defend against mediocrity's further TC drops, if any. Counter aggression by the scouts here as well, so the berry is off limits here for Mediocrity, pulling the last few builders away, going to collect stone now for maybe another town center drop here. And this new TC also casually happens to be on the berries as well, so a bit lucky that that was possible to place amongst all the hills here, but there it goes. Cuban's player walling off. Magge has been busy defending the teammates, so it's not really been an option to hit the Cubans at home base here, so that economy is fantastic. Not going to go Castle Age just yet, but look at the farm economy here, and the fact that this TC is also on gold. 2 town centers, fairly compact economy here. The Britain's archers shouldn't be able to do too much, other than maybe snipe some builders that are on the most exposed farms. But yeah, the town center is keeping most of the economy safe here for Zmorty, who in theory could just mass scouts here to clean up these archers. It's deceiving how Eltrontrasi has only 1 minute idle TC time and Mediocrity has 6:22, but that's because Eltrontrasi hasn't had a TC. He's lost yet another one, right? So he's not running idle. He is rebuilding on the woodland over here. What a play. You don't see this in the team games a lot, this douche strategy. Maybe Mediocrity has been is a Suomi fanboy. The Finn players tend to do these kinds of things to their opponents. See some green dots over here. Another tower going up on the woodland here. So 2 woodlines denied by towers now. Where's the trolley dropper going to get wood for the archers now? What's the wood situation? 55 wood. It doesn't even have wood to replenish a lumber camp. Oh, it is replenishing it on the worst spot imaginable here. Unfortunately for Jolly Jumper, this woodland hasn't been scouted. So otherwise that would be the go-to woodland, of course. Purple flaring another TC here. He is guessing the Castle Age and Mediocrity still in the Dark Age here, just enjoying the jolly good old time in the Dark Age, stealing the opponent's berries. Might fall victim to a Mangonel Knight push from the flanks here, so at the very least, Endlose Traurigkeit get the pleasure of taking out 1 player out of the equation here. But it's a Persian town center. It has twice the hit points as well, so it's not that easily pushed, even with the hill advantage and the cavalry helping out. And all the more you focus on either flank here, the more time for the Cubans player to boom like crazy. Now going Castle Age at 66 villagers here, and even with 2 town centers for the flanks and a much earlier Castle Age, Magge is going to struggle to keep up with the Cubans' Castle Age economy here, I think. Uh-oh, Mangonel pushing from the hill. Knights chasing the villagers. Looked like Mediocrity maybe wanted to drop yet another town center here, but now is forced to get back home here. Did move some villagers to the original base here. Now a house and then probably a lumber camp on this woodland to be able to repair. Forever Dark Age for Mediocrity. At least has the wood to repair the TC for a while if need be. But it's just buying time for Zmorty to get to the Castle Age and do their thing here and overrun with massive cavalry production. Stonewall's going up here for the Britons now, maybe expecting the humans with some heavy Castle Age aggression here. Castle Age for the Koreans as well. Could mean more wagons. Pretty heavy on stone here still. Elias Worthing does have enough stone for a castle as well. But Mediocrity at 19 villagers, and insanely so, still Spanish Crossbows with the 10 or so villagers ahead here. There's the Castle Age for Zmorty, which means that humans... Cavalry should be entering the field, at least 3 stables producing here. I think you could warrant even another one with this kind of Castle Age economy for the Cubans. Lots of food and gold in the bank here, as Mediocrity is left with 18 builders only, and we'll have to rely on help from humans to truly survive here. Off meta play here for Spanish Crossbows, and that's just delightful to see it working out. Looks like Endlose is stabilizing though, definitely ahead of mediocrity in the eco development here. TC will be going down, and that's one that mediocrity will finally be rebuilding at home base somewhere, I think. If wood allows, that is. Yeah, has the wood and stone to rebuild. 9 villagers. In the meantime, our green friend is making war wagons. Magge is preoccupied with cleaning up mediocrity's aggression and allowing Eltron to reclaim home base finally. He's placing a mill on what used to be the TC here. You can see the, the carpet. That's situated on your starting TC, just like the other areas here. Healthy chunk of crossbows moving out for Jolly Jumper, but that's also scary when up against the humans here with 14 knights and 4 stables producing. And if Smorty just happens to spot this army movement, then these crossbows could be cleaned up. Similarly, if Jolly Jumper sees the army movement here, could easily snipe some moving units. Ballistics is coming in as well, makes it easier to hit moving targets. Yeah, we'll be staying on the hill here and pick off some knights on the way, I think. Magge joining in with massive amount of knights as well. He is keeping the aggression out at home. And I think they have to hit the pocket now. They have to obstruct Smorty's so far undisturbed bloom. Look at that, 88 villagers total. Humans almost matching the Frank's Knights numbers here. Could mix in camels as well, but that doesn't really make sense with crossbows out like that. Finally going to lose some villagers here. But Endlose Traurigkeit, they're fighting close to reinforcements of the humans player now. Has to abandon the wood line. This one is running thin as well. So wood could eventually become an issue here for Elias Worthing. However, 29 knights to a total of about 40 military mass here. Lots of Britain's crossbows will be going down now, while war wagons presumably will be contesting the Britons down here as well. And Britain's crossbows don't fare well against war wagons. Ridiculous feudal age boom into Castle Age here for the humans, and this is going to be a human's hard carry if this keeps up. Look at the KDR 52 to 28 here, just demolishing these Franks armies, and while doing this, also able to keep up with the knights production. 32 knights to 14 now, getting a huge army advantage for the teal pocket over the purple one, but the overall build tree isn't all that far apart. However, now they could work together with war wagons and knights to just take out Britain's town centers and then start pressuring the pocket later. Eltron is still recovering here now, 2 minutes to go for the Castle Age. Barely any military, but at least in the Castle Age the archers will be at a 20% discount, and with the Britons bonus they will replenish more quickly as well. But speaking of Britons, how will they hold up against war wagons mass here? Yeah, it's going to take them a while to trade here. Actually, I think Elias Worthing is okay on his own here, while Smorty will dive in on the pocket and keep those cavalry numbers low. They're attempting to make those long stone walls, a connected wall between the Franks and the Britons here as well, but that is an ambitious project as 31 knights pop in here and will find the exposed eco of the Britons, a Britons player left with only crossbowmen to defend, and they are currently chasing the very tanky war wagons. Or not very tanky, 3+2 pierce, but high hit points makes them hard for ranged units to kill, and a lot of villagers will be going down for Jolly Jumper now. 6 stables now producing for the Cubans, and also going Imperial Age here. That eco management is off the charts for Zamorti over here. But that's also largely due to being left alone with the boom because of the aggression of the flanks. So there's team synergy working out very well here. Well planned pressure and aggression here now. 31 knights to 35 knights, but there's that Imperial Age. That's also going to make a huge difference, especially since Cubans also get plus 5% speed boost per age. So once that... Uh-oh, are you seeing this? Once Imperial Age kicks in, the Cubans cavalry will be 15% faster, while the Franks will only be 10%. So currently they are matched in speed, but as Imperial Age kicks in, the Cubans knights will be slightly faster. 3 easy for the Mayans, so Eltron Class is trying to recover here. Now they actually established sort of an eco lead here, if you could even call it a lead. Fighting underneath Castle Fire here, wanting to keep that War Wagons numbers low. That makes sense. Actually, quite a few of them going down there. Good engagement. And the castle on the hill for Jolly Jumper. But look at that. Imperial Age kicking in for the Cubans with 48 knights to benefit from plate barding armor and cavalier here, and as you can see, the speed that used to be 149 is now 156, so they're even faster than cavalry archers actually. Tiny bit faster than cavalry archers. Not that we will be seeing cavalry archers this game. Will they deny this castle, by the way? The war wagons could pop in and focus villagers here if the knights won't do that. I guess the castle goes up. So maybe we'll see the need for some Cubans forward rams here to take down fortifications. The knights numbers are crazy though. Light cavalry popping in as well. Couple of, well, that's University Monastery to go up. Side goal being taken here. Wood Lion back on track and now planning for some castles forward as well. As Mogge is with some armies here to try and get some raids now. It's 134 builders for the Cubans though. Some builder kills here honestly just means a little bit more army space for Asmordi at this point. Maybe it doesn't matter that much. 25 builders for mediocrity now, so getting that market slowly but steadily creeping towards that castle age at the 40-minute mark, but mediocrity has certainly done the job here, made the efforts to keep the Mayans player busy so that there won't be a large bowl of crossbows to become arbalists anytime soon. Raid efforts both on pocket and flank here of the Cubans. Still not establishing a villager lead for Spanish Crossbows, but it shouldn't be too far off now with these kinds of raids and this kind of idle economy for the red and purple player. Light cav and tapping in as well, just to keep army production consistent. Here can we see the speed. Okay, the step husbandry is not in because otherwise the light cav would be training a lot quicker. Castle going up defensively at home to protect most of the farm economy from raids as well. So both the pockets are raiding each other, but purple is taking a larger blow here. It's still almost 100 villagers for Smorty, and neither of them are replenishing villagers at this point actually. Maybe want to clean up the raids before creating villagers again. Too early for me. Game is not boring by any means. Very exposed farm economy here from the Britons that could be hit as well. War wagons now diving in to further raid where Teal just left. See some purple dots here, but that's Frank's light cav and knights, and Frank's stuck in the castle age here, which is never great for a pocket when the other pocket is in the Imperial Age. Huge masses raiding again, raiding purple to death. Now the Mayans player is at 80 villagers and And getting it, Imperial Age might be getting to some Arbalest for these crossbows here, but we'll have to help out against raids. And crossbow versus Imperial Age humans, cavalry armies. It's just not going to work out. The GD is cold, and what a crazy game from Spanish Crossbows here. GG well played, indeed. And ending without even Castle Age being reached here by mediocrity with the extended Dark Age play. You can see the uptimes here. It's ridiculous. Most players reaching the Feudal Age, but not all. There's at the 18-minute mark for Eltrontrazi and 37-57 Feudal Age for mediocrity. That's later than most players hit Imp. It's more to hitting Imp before mediocrity hits Feudal. Imperial Age, while Blue is still in the teammates is still in the Dark Age. Nice. But it still paid off, that kind of aggression. Let's have a look at the rest of the statistics as well. $310 to 138 KD. Great raid efforts here by Morty. How many villagers killed in the end actually? 141. And losing 47, so good raid efforts by Magge as well, but didn't wasn't enough in the end to keep up. Look at that Cuban's eco. It's crazy. Here you see the uptimes a little bit more clearly as well.